Okay, welcome back, everyone. We're going to go over some more JavaScript demos and show how JavaScript, how it works on the web, why it's so widely used across the web. Okay, before I do that, let me introduce the idea of Node.js. This is an engine that can run JavaScript on your local machine. So if you go to this link here on the platform, under JavaScript, Node.js, you should be able to go ahead and go to this website from this link, download it for your computer, and then you can run JavaScript on your VS Code through your terminal as you've seen me run it. Okay, so follow these steps after the lecture. You'll need this to check your work for today's assignments. Okay. Today's assignments are these FizzBuzz. It's a FizzBuzz challenge. This is a sometimes could be a interview question. And then we have loop challenges here.
I did get that question one time for a technical interview, by the way.
Okay.
It's like at least twice. I got it at least twice before. So it's
Nice. So now you know. Dia's saying it, so believe him. And then you have these 5 algorithms here to loop through and complete these. Okay, so download node.js so that you can do these and test your work using console log. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over some cool things here. If I go to Wikipedia and I see here an article, let's go over this one here. If I hover over New Zealand Labour Party, you see it gives me a little pop-up that it can let me go further in and click more. So let's take a look at the console here. I mean the terminal. Let's get out of this view. Let's go ahead and move it to the right. And I need to pull up this chat here. Let me get a view of the page. So if I hover over this, actually, if I hover over this here, and I should be able to see it here. Actually, let me put this back on the right. Six slave their government. This div will pop up on our page. Why is it not showing here on this right screen here? Usually shows here on the right what is popping up as I hover over it. I think maybe I have to have something enabled to show that.
If you click on this box, doesn't it normally take you to it?
Yeah, but it's gonna, I want it to show the pop-up as it, I can't, oh, I know. So I have to open this here and then hover over. As I hover over, then it shows. So what's going on here? When I hover over, do you see how it will create a new section? Actually, it's not. It's just highlighting what's already there. It should be creating a new little div section every time I highlight over. But that's what's happening. It's creating this new little div every time I highlight over. Okay, whether we see it in the console right now or not, that's what's happening.
I mean, it is popping up.
I think it's just highlighting it, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Maybe my eyes are not fast enough to catch it. New Zealand House of Representatives, I see that. Member of Parliament. I think it's happening so fast I can't catch it. But anytime I hover over a link here, Wikipedia is using JavaScript to make this little pop-up here show up, this House of Representatives information. Okay. So what we want to do today is show you how to use JavaScript with HTML to make this feature here work. Okay. I also want to introduce the console here. This console is meant to run JavaScript just as we have in Visual Studio Code. So let me go ahead and run console.log. Hello. Ugh. Console.log. Hello. And now we have hello right here. So this console here will work with JavaScript just as we've been using in Visual Studio Code. Okay, and we're going to use this to demonstrate how we can connect Visual Studio.
Having
HTML.
just tested myself, by the way, it looks like the div pop-up happens right at the bottom of the body. So if you scroll all the way down at the bottom, we should see it when we hover over it.
I
Yeah,
see.
see, it's the very last thing.
Okay, so it does pop up. You see that, guys? So if I hover over right below the body. Thank you, Christian.
Yep.
Oh, and Christian also showed me this really cool thing I want to show you guys here. So if I go ahead and create an HTML file, and if I go to the extension store, and if I search for live preview, this one here created by Microsoft, and let's say I create something here, and I say hello. If I go to my file explorer and I right click and I click show preview, it'll show me like it would be in a browser here. So this is even a shortcut from tabbing between windows here, so you can have all your work display as you code. We'll be using this in later demonstrations, but this is just a cool tool. It's called Live Preview. So thank you, Christian, for that. And what I want to show today here is how to use JavaScript with HTML. So if at the bottom of the body tag, if I write a script tag, I can run JavaScript inside here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to say console.log hello. So if I copy this path and I open this file, it's a blank HTML file, but if I inspect it and I go to the console, I should have, I have to make a string here. But as you can see, it's already trying to read my JavaScript. Hello. Now I have hello in my console. In the browser, by just writing a console log within this script tag in the HTML file. Okay, so there's a little bit more to this here, because just like CSS, we don't want to have our styles in the HTML. We want to separate our JavaScript away from our HTML. So I'm going to create a script.js file. And I'm going to move that to the right. And I'm going to link my script.js through src in the script tag. I'm going to say script.js. And I'm going to say in this script.js, console.log hello. So now if I close this, if I refresh, and I inspect, it will still say hello. So I no longer have it in my HTML. I have this written in JavaScript, and now I have JavaScript linked to my HTML file here. Okay. So can we get a status check? Are you all understanding how to link JavaScript to HTML now? Great. So I'm going to just show a couple cool features here of how else JavaScript can interact with HTML. I'm going to write an h1 tag. I'm going to say you clicked 0 times. And I'm going to create a button now. And inside the button, I'm going to say click me. And inside the head of the button, I'm going to say on click equals, and I'm going to reference a function I haven't created yet. I'm going to say button click. Button click. And now, actually, oops, this wasn't supposed to be titled. No camel case on the on click. So now it's highlighted. That's how I knew I had an error there. Now I'm going to create a function called on click or button click. Function button click. And on the button click, I'm going to say console.log. You clicked me. So now every time I click this button, it should say here, you clicked me in the console. So if I refresh, every time I click, the console is counting how many times I've clicked here. Pretty cool, right? So now we can...
I have a question.
Yes.
Since you went ahead and you included or linked the JavaScript source in would you mind going back to Visual Studio?
Yes.
Since you went ahead and you linked it over here, is there any negative side since the linkage happens here, but the call happens here, or it doesn't really matter ever?
You want your script tag to be at the bottom of your body. That's the only real rule. So anything else can reference your JavaScript above it. And when you have it linked here at the bottom of the body, it'll come and find it on the script.js file.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do a couple more demonstrations, and then that'll be it for today's lecture. Okay, I'm gonna create a div here, and on this div, I'm mouse over here, and let's go ahead and see that this is working. Okay, I'm gonna just comment out all this stuff. So this section here, actually, I'm gonna create an H1. Okay. And on this opening tag of the div, I'm gonna say on mouse over. I want you to mouse over. I'm gonna create a function here on the right called mouse over. And in this function, I am going to say console.log you've moused over me. How about hovered? Hovered over me. Okay, so let's see what this does now. I didn't spell it correctly here. Function mouse over. Now, anytime I mouse over, the console will print you've hovered over me. So now it's not just clicking here. That's how they have that feature on the Wikipedia page when you hover over. It's on the hover over feature here. Now I can also do that with another one that I will say on mouse out. On mouse out, I want to mouse out. I'll say function mouse out. And I'm going to say console.log you hovered away from me now. So now, every time I mouse over, it'll console log you've hovered over me. And when I hover away, it'll say you've hovered away from me now. We can do this, use this feature, add a little bit more code to create something that we see here on Wikipedia, where on the mouse over, it'll create a div in this section here. And when you mouse out, it'll uncreate it. It'll just not show it. Okay. We'll get a little bit further into JavaScript and cool things that we can do. We can do calculations. For example, on this button here, I have you've clicked 0 times. I can create a variable that shows how many button clicks. And I can change this here, this 0 to a 1. And to whatever number, I have a variable that's holding the number of button clicks. Okay, we'll dive further on how to manipulate the document object model that is being represented here with this HTML file. And then we can use JavaScript to go ahead and add these cool features to our page. Okay, so are we understanding this as well? Could we have a status check, please? thumbs up. Thank you, Dia. And we'll have plenty of practice. We'll go over this in depth as we progress, okay? So we'll have Monday and Tuesday as well to go ahead and perfect our linking of JavaScript. Okay, and that's all I really want to show you guys today. So if, do we have any questions? Okay.
Yeah, Joshua, I have another question actually.
Yes, please.
What is the importance about having the console section in the once we do the inspection? Like you were showing that if we hover over our cursor over like that given piece of text, why does it matter that we have that console section and outputting those messages?
The console is always a way that we can test our code. So just like when we are writing functions, the return value of the function is actually what we want to return, is what we want to give that function a return value. The console log is a way to test our variables at certain points in time. In this case, I'm testing that my mouse over is working correctly. So let's say I don't need to console log. I want to make it a pop-up. But before I get to that point, I just want to make sure my mouse over is working. So I will pull up the console to see everything is working fine. If it is, then I'll go ahead and add some further features.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a way to test that everything's working. Console is just your helper friend to test that. You know, I want to see what the status of this variable is right now. So console is good. It's going to be a great friend for you as you progress and make more difficult algorithms. You're going to want to see what the value of a certain variable is at a certain point in time, how many you have of a certain number, so on and so forth. Okay. Well, I'll have these videos uploaded soon. And if we have no more questions, I'll go ahead and end the lecture. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.